My name's Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a really fun card for you today, and it's doubly fun for me because I'm making a whole bunch of them to send to some of my favorite people in the world. So I'm using one of the 2 stamp sets that you can get for free in September. So you may have already seen the video that I did with Queen Anne's lace. If you haven't, you can just go back to my video page and it's there. Today I'm going to be using So Much Love. And over the course of this month, I'll be doing a couple more videos with each of them. Maybe and a couple where I mix them together because they go together quite well. But from September 1st to the end of the month, if you join my Stampin' Up! Team, then they will be giving you both of these sets, some rhinestones, and then some card kits. So you can make a whole bunch of cards either to give to people that you want to, or if you'd like to hold a card class. So when you purchase a starter kit with Stampin' Up!, it's $125 of whatever you want from whatever is current. So even if it's on the clearance corner, as long as it's on the website and able to be purchased, you can put it in your starter kit. And then it's just $99. So $99 plus tax. There's no shipping, so you save that as well. And then in September, they're adding these 2 stamp sets to it. So I wanted to show you the potential that both of these fun sets have. And then, like I said, you get the rhinestones and the card kits. So all of those details are on my website. Then also starting in September, I should have closed it up. You can order. I'm not going to use it on today's project, so I had it's kind of, this reminds me a little bit of an exercise bike because when it's not in use, then I just lay stuff on it. But starting on September 1st, you can also order the cut and emboss machine. So if you want, then here's a great way to get it at $25 off, really. Because it's $120, so you could get this and a refill, just pay $99. And then you'd also get the 2 stamp sets, and the machine, and the cardstock, the rhinestones, and then when you place your first order as a demonstrator, you'd get all of your accessories for this at your 20% discount. So if you have any questions, be sure to just message me wherever you're watching this at, on my website or on YouTube or on Facebook. My videos show up everywhere. So for today, I'm going to show you this So Much Love. So some of the pieces are already done because we had a leader summit over the weekend, and I'm going to be sending this card to the girls on my team. So I've made about, well, they're in various stages of process because our leader summit this year was supposed to be in New Orleans, and you know, welcome to 2020 when nothing happens where it was supposed to happen. So it was online. So on some of the general sessions where I wasn't taking copious notes, then I was coloring because, you know, it helps my mind stay focused sometimes if I color. So I've got a lot of them done, and then I left one so I could show you. So of my 20 things, they're in various stages of process because it wasn't like I was only stamping, I was listening. So I'm going to use some cinnamon cider. This is the little dots that come in the set. So I'm just going to kind of make, and I will tell you that this is the ultimate in using what was on my desk. And you're going to see why in a second. Because they're going to, you know, 20 different people. The girls aren't going to see them. They'll all be beautiful. And I had some stuff that I wanted to use up. Some little pieces and scraps of things. And then I had a big boo-boo. Because when you do classes online, and you send card packs, then you end up cutting a lot of stuff. And so you get a lot of scraps that are funny sizes. And then one of the pieces that we're going to use is this, which I have found ways already to use a bunch of it. But for my last Try It class, apparently I cut these when I designed the card that they went with. And then I cut them again when I cut the paper. So I had like 50 of these already cut. So we used them at camp. I've used them in my In the Pines class, and now we're using them again. So I'm working my way down. So when I went to design this class, I knew from design this project, I knew from the start it was going to have this color in it because I was like, if I'm going to make 20 of these, I'm going to use 20 more pieces of my miscut ribbon. So it's not miscut, it's just already cut and already cut in pieces. So I've taken this cinnamon cider, and then I stamped these on just little scrap pieces that I had of shimmery white, and then I'm going to color it. So the other thing that I wanted to do was also when you do classes, you end up with lots of pieces like this, because I have all these little offcuts of everything. And because when I send them to you, then, you know, I trim them off to give you however many you need. So I wanted to go with some more neutral color selections so I could like pull them out of the cases. So I decided that this would be a nice color. I wanted him to be summer into fall because I'm doing a survey on my Facebook page right now who likes summer more, or who wants to hang on to summer, or who's ready to move into fall. And y'all are killing me because y'all want fall to come. I'm a summer hanger-oner. So this is my ode to, okay, I realize that fall is on the way, but I'm keeping some summer. And then these you're gonna like. This is the smallest of, no, the second smallest of the new dies that are in the holiday catalog, and I will put links to all of this down underneath the video. And you can see, because again, they're from classes, they were all different sizes. So sometimes I was able to get wholes, sometimes I was able to get halves. So it doesn't matter, you can make them all work when you're doing a lot, because this is like, this one's even crooked. I'll use this one because I can show you that even though it's crooked, but all of the colors will match my color scheme. So I was trying to go so I could use up everything that I have, all these little bits and pieces. Like when I use a gold embellishment, then if I pull in this gold paper that I've done, then it will work. And then I just, after I cut them out, then I just ran them all, while I was watching the videos, ran them through the new diamonds folder. Aren't those, and they're just pretty. They're just pretty, and you put them under the light, and that just makes you kind of happy. So then I stamped all these. And this was really the part, I just had these sitting here, and this is what I mostly did while I was watching. So I colored them, and you're gonna see what happens when you're not really paying attention to your coloring, when you're more listening. So let's go with the leaves first. I have dark and light cinnamon cider, and because I just really kind of wanted a little bit of color on them, which my first few have a little bit of color, and then the longer I colored and the more I was listening and not just coloring, the darker they got. So the girls will all know, according to when in the process they got my color ones, because they did get quite a bit darker. Then this is light crumb cake. So I'm gonna use it for a little bit of a blend and just kind of smudge those around. So my first few barely have any color on the leaves at all. My last ones pretty much have brown leaves, but they look fine. It doesn't matter. It's just what was in my head kind of got changed. So this is the color lifter, and this kind of then takes some of that color out. And I stopped using the color lifter, and I thought I'll just go back in later and show you. So I will show you the magic of the color lifter on some of the ones where I colored too much. And let's go back with my dark cinnamon cider. And I'm using the bullet tips on all these. I really should have some scrap paper underneath me, but I moved everything off and I didn't put any back. Okay, and then I have dark and light balmy blue, because that's another one of the blue accessories embellishments that I have a lot of. So I'm going to take the bullet tip and just kind of in these petals that have the foldovers on them, I'm going to color a whole piece of blue in those, and then just kind of one stripe in these little buds. So once I have all those done, and then come down here in this part of the flower, and then I'm just going to kind of trace some of them. And this is where, if I was more listening to the speaker than paying attention to my coloring, I just went real heavy with that. And this next step too. So this is the light balmy blue. Oops. Just pull a little bit of that in. Just kind of smear the lines a little bit, and then just make sure that each petal has just a tiny bit. Because it's a blue flower, but it was in my mind, it was a vintage color white flower with blue highlights. The longer I got, the longer I colored them while I was listening, the bluer they got. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. The center though can be more blue. It wasn't on my original one, which is my favorite one. I'm just gonna have to put them all in envelopes and then stick in the personalized parts to them. So And then take your color lifter, and this is where you can kind of fade them out. So you can see normally where you would use your lighter color to kind of blend those away, you can use the color lifter, and then that way you're not adding more color, but you're just kind of blending that. So I'll do this one here for a second. So just kind of just keep going until those lines disappear. So then you have this. You do have to fussy cut them with some scissors because there isn't a die to go with them. So you can see here, this one got pretty dark. But you can take your color lifter. So let's just do one petal here and just go back in there. Or you can decide that it's pretty okay being a blue flower, because it was really just in my head that it was a white flower. Because it's pretty like that. It was just that I thought, you can see the difference, and this is even darker than it was in my head. So I have a whole stack of these in all various assortments of blue. You can see they got darker and darker. And browner and browner. This one doesn't have any brown because, you know, when you're doing two things at once, sometimes, but they're all pretty. I mean, there aren't any of those that aren't pretty. They're just all kind of different. In fact, they would be pretty on one card together if you were giving it as a wedding card or something. So let's just go with this one. So we've got this, and then I just, because this was the length of ribbon I had, so I was going to make it work, and I wanted to make it work with these. So in the class that we did, we just tied a bow. So I just went with, I knew this would work because this was how we did it in the class. Just tied a bow in the ribbon. Kind of get that knot tight enough there that it's not going to come undone. And then wrap it around this. So it takes a little bit of seal here, just to kind of hold this part in place. And then flip this over, and they'll all be a little bit different because some of mine I cut the other direction depending on how my cardstock was, but they'll all work just fine. So don't throw away, especially some of your more, they're not expensive, but it's not the cheapest cardstock. And you get some pretty large pieces sometimes when you are cutting out other things, because this is just like the corners, and it gets down so it's not big enough to use what I wanted, what I needed it for, but it was really too big to throw away. So then there is a saying, and it says, here for you. And a lot of times I think we think of that as a sympathy, but I'm sending this to the girls on my team because I want them to let them know that I support them. And if they need my help, I'm here for them. So it doesn't have to be a sympathy. If you have somebody that's starting a new job, or a new mom, or anything, or somebody that's going off to college, it doesn't have to be a sympathy. So don't look at those. I know a lot of times people are like, I don't need another sympathy. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be a sympathy. It can just mean that you're here for somebody. So now let's get this on here. Actually, the girls on my team are getting together tomorrow night via Zoom, and we're doing my holiday try-it class together. So I've sent them all the pieces. They haven't seen the class yet because I don't send them the links or anything until just before we start. So they haven't seen it. And then I have all these that I can pick from. So let's go with, on the other card that I'm going to show you, I've used that one. I have these. These would be kind of pretty too, the lighter balmy blue ones. But let's just do these. There's 3 sizes of these. These are the Gilded Gems, and they go with the Ornate Garden. After I do my try-it clubs, it helps because then I kind of know, I remember what all these things go with. So if you're interested in joining my team, I would love to have you. Just let me know. Or if you're interested in purchasing the new Cut and Boss machine tomorrow, also let me know. Make sure you're on my email list. That's the easiest way to know what's going on. So you can see this one has different gems. It has these gems, the wonderful gems. These are from the holiday catalog. You can see this is more. I can't talk. This one's even darker, the one I just colored for you. And then you can see, it wasn't really until I was done and I looked at him and I'm like, well, dang, Cheri, you got some dark blue flowers there, but they'll be pretty. Sometimes just having all this stuff on your desk makes you happy. So if you sign up early in the month, then you'll get one of these, because I'll still have this stuff laying here. The longer the month goes and they're out of here, then one thing I don't really get a whole lot of enjoyment out of is going back and making cards I've already made before. So join this first week and you'll be getting one of those. Join further on and probably not. You'll get other stuff. All the girls that sign up under me do get to do the majority of my online classes for free. Sometimes I send you this stuff if we're going to do them together via Zoom, or if you do them in my house. You know, once upon a time, in a land far away, we got together at my house if you live locally. But the Zoom is nice because I have girls on both coasts and all in between the country. So via Zoom, we get to do them together. So if we have the In the Pines class coming up that we'll be doing via Zoom. And I am starting a Zoom night once a month with everybody who's been a demonstrator with me for less than a year. So everybody that signs up in September will be part of that. There's some changes at Stampin' Up, and so it'll be easy for us to all kind of just learn together. So I'm looking forward to it. If you have any questions, like I said, just message me, and everybody have a great day. Bye.